It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. So, as Christmas is drawing near, I thought I'd do a plug for the reason for the season, which is not presents and candy, as much as we all, including myself, love to think that it is. When it's all said and done, we know Jesus is the reason for Christmas. Face it, you know that if we didn't have Jesus born on December 25th, I know it's not like the exact same thing, but if we didn't have Jesus born on that day, we wouldn't have Christmas, and you know it. But I'm not going to rag on how secularized Christmas is nowadays. Instead, I'm going to ask you a question on behalf of Christ. Kind of. Will you give him everything? Yes, I know it's a reoccurring theme question, whatever, on my channel, but it's the question of our lives, so I'm going to keep asking you this until you answer and do it. And since I'm connecting this with Christmas, like, why wouldn't you want to give your life to a baby? Are you scared of a baby? Do you know why Jesus came as a baby? He came as a baby for a few reasons. One, he wanted to show that he's not going to condemn us or hurt us. Like, are you scared of babies? Like, do you imagine them going to beat you up? I mean, I'm not afraid of my little brother. Two, he wanted to relate with us. When he was born, and when he came to Earth as a human and was born as a baby, he had to be born. He had to go through the same thing that we go through. I know we don't remember. Nobody remembers when they were born. But if you think about it, like, that's just a basis of he lived life as a normal human being, as a normal Jew in the 1st century. He say, hey, I can relate with you. You don't have to think that I'm some far off God. I came down to earth and I'm a human. And I have the same problems that you go through. I mean, he was without sin, but other than that, he was just as human as every other human being you will ever meet. 3. He wanted to enter into our mess. Where was Jesus born? He was born in a stable. I don't know if you guys have ever been in a stable, but stables are dark and poopy and stinky, and there's a bunch of animals. And Jesus came at a time of a census, so you heard the inns were overflowing. So the stables must have been overflowing as well, and that's where Jesus was born. He was born in one of the messiest places on earth, in an overflowing stable, and who knows how often the innkeeper could care for the stable, the straw and everything. I know that's disgusting, but I mean, Jesus is not afraid of mess. He came as a baby, born in the stable, in the middle of the cold night to show that no matter how messy, dark, and cold your heart is, he can come in and he can take care of it. So really, you have no excuse not to give Jesus everything, because he already gave his whole heart to you. He came as a baby to show you that he's not going to hurt you. He's going to show you that he's relatable to. He wants to, like, know you, and he wants to relate to you. And also, he wants to enter into your mess. I mean, don't you want a guy or a girl who will just love you for who you are? And that's basically what Jesus is. Angela Foligno said, "No one can make excuses because anyone can love God. And God does not ask the soul for more than to love him, because he loves the soul and it is his love." So come on, Jesus came as a baby in the messiest part of town. I think he can handle whatever you send him. And don't think, well, loving God and becoming a saint isn't giving Jesus my mess. Well, it actually is, because a saint is someone who is a saint is someone who keeps a sinner who keeps on trying. They fall, they screw up, and then they go to confession and say, God, I'm sorry I screwed up. Please forgive me. Help me start over. So, the moral of the story is, you can become a saint. One last thing. There's this media apostolate called Redeemed Online. It's a beautiful way to just grow in your faith during Advent and Lent, and also throughout the year. Andy, who's the founder, sends out letters via email. So it's not too far in Advent. We just started like last week, so you can still sign up. I'm going to post the link below, and it's just they send to your email literally a 1-minute video of a speaker on who Jesus is during this Advent. So there's that, and then there's like a quote and stuff, and it's a really good way to grow in your faith this Advent and throughout the year. So sign up. It's really great, and the speakers that they choose are amazing. One of them's my personal favorite, Sister Miriam James Island.